Chris Jericho, I should say, versus The Miz and a partner of his choosing. And Kurt Angle made it very clear that if you do not find a partner, it's going to be a handicap match. So throughout the night, we have Miz talking to random stars, Cesaro and Sheamus. Even, for fuck's sake, the fact that they brought in the whole Heath Slater, Curtis Axel deal, where they mentioned, Marine 5 coming out tomorrow. Cheap plug, ding, don't care.
But it did give us that great segment with Rhino and Crackers.
This is true. Oh my God.
Take that for what it's worth, but at least we got another funny Rhino and Crackers part, because I swear to God, every time Rhino's on camera now, he's got a plate full of crackers.
And the sad thing is, it's gold every single time he does it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He does this creepy gimmick, and it gets him over so well. I don't know what it is about him. And he's a mayor in Michigan. He's... oh, my God. This is just... Well, he's a politic in Michigan, but oh, my God. This is just still one of the funniest things where, Slater's just like, sorry, dude, I already got a partner. Rhino just comes in, and then Curtis Axel, quote-unquote, Mr. Irrelevant. Well, guess what? He's in Marine 5, so how irrelevant is that, bitch? So, Miz gets this note saying, I have that, a tag team partner is coming, and, okay, before we move on from that, I definitely did enjoy, like you said, the whole cracker situation where he offers one to Maurice. Maurice just bops it out of his hand, and he just whispers, "No crackers for you, then." It's like, what the hell? It's so childish, but at the same time, it's funny. And then finally, Kurt Angle was saying, "Do you have a partner? Do you have a partner?" And Miz is like, "Yep, I got a partner, and he is going to be awesome." Cue Elias Sampson passing by, just tuning his guitar and playing it, and Kurt's just like, "Great choice." No, it's not him. I think a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be Elias Sampson tonight, which would have been interesting. Would have made sense, though. I guess it probably would have made a little bit more sense than the tag team partner that would eventually come out, which was nobody at first. And Kurt says, "Well, you had your chance and you lost, so it's a handicap match." So, matchup happens. Dean Ambrose is about to do I guess it was going to be the dirty deeds on the announce table. And then we get the whole flap, tap. And out comes Bray Wyatt, who just beats down on Dean Ambrose. I thought that the Sister Abigail to the... I'm trying to remember what... just that, bottom screen there. I was thinking to myself, this is going to hurt, And then I saw what it really was almost like this, like a projector screen. And I thought, that kind of takes away from it. That just didn't work out too well. Chris Jericho got his Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt's, doing his deal where he's just follow the buzzards. Miz is just like, thank you, man, thank you for saving me. And then Bray Wyatt's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Sister Abigail to the Miz. And again, Bray Wyatt's just sending a message supposedly to Randy. And you and I were both saying that it was a very confusing ending, because does it accomplish the fact that, this Sunday, Orton and Wyatt have the House of Horrors match, or is this just one of those things where...
it's not even a title match anymore, I heard.
What?
It's not even a title match anymore, I heard. I don't know if you noticed for the last couple of weeks, they've stopped calling it for a championship match and just started calling it the House of Horrors match.
Oh, what the hell?
And I even, on WWE.com, it doesn't even say it's for the title anymore.
Well, I guess they didn't want the possibility of Randy Orton getting injured and losing the title to Bray, so they decided, we're just going to have this matchup, which, at this point, Bray has to win. There is no excuse for him losing on Sunday if the title's not on the line anymore.
Yeah, if the title's not on the line, Bray has to go over in this. If he doesn't, I think that's the final nail in the coffin of them burying him. But I think WWE missed out on a great opportunity here to have Miz get a mystery opponent against Jericho and Dean Ambrose, and to not have it be Kevin Owens, I thought was stupid. Even though Kevin Owens is on SmackDown, you know, they can work their magic somehow and be like, oh, for tonight only, you know, to pump up the Jericho and Kevin Owens match as well. That would have at least made sense. Throwing Bray Wyatt in that match made no sense whatsoever. And if you notice when, like, his little video package thing came on, the lights went out, and the lights go back on, and he's standing on the table with Dean, there's literally no crowd reaction. And I think it's because they were just like, why? Why is he in this match? Like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And the crowd was kind of just dead the entire time. Like, they beat up Ambrose, they beat up Jericho. The crowd really didn't pop until Wyatt hit Sister Abigail on Miz. And I think that was probably the loudest pop of that entire segment.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. And it might have to deal with the fact that, you know, like you said, it might have been dealing with the fact that it was with confusion, or it may have done with the fact that, you know, people were just saying, like, okay, this is pointless. What does this accomplish? I mean, unless, like we've mentioned, Bray Wyatt goes over this Sunday, all of this will just be basically worthless. It's just one of those things where, you know, you're giving Bray Wyatt momentum, great, but Randy Orton wins. Why? It makes no sense. That's the only way that I could see that making any sense, is that Bray Wyatt is hyping up this House of Horrors matchup. He's making it seem like it's a major deal, and if they, you know, crush Bray Wyatt again like they did at WrestleMania, this is going to be where, you know, it's going to be very hard for Bray Wyatt to come back after that, because you could put him in any of the matches and it's not going to really matter because people are not going to care. I mean, so many people have said, you know, wins and losses, they don't matter. I mean, BG James or Brian James, a.k.a. Road Dogg, said, you know, wins and losses don't matter. And there's a lot of people that say wins and losses do matter. I'm under the impression that wins and losses do matter, especially if you put them on a losing streak. I mean, you know, it was funny at first, you know, James Ellsworth, he was losing consistently, ha ha ha. But then there just came a point where it's like, you know, what's the point of this guy being on here? Kurt Hawkins, same thing. Oh, he lost his first two matches coming back, ha ha. Now he's losing consistently. There's no point. Bray Wyatt now is reaching that point where it's like, you know, he's losing consistently on these big match situations. It's like, what's the point? Oh, because he's a main event player. He can make a main event look awesome. Yeah, but his stock is going down because he's losing. That's the problem. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that bit of a rant there, but...
No, that's cool. Like, yeah, trust me, you're talking to somebody who is probably more frustrated than anybody about everything that's been going on with Bray for the last couple of years. Because there's been some really good spots, some really good opportunities, really good chances for them to do something, like, in my opinion, like really special and really magical. And they've you know, screwed the pooch every single time. But going back to what I was saying earlier about this match, I really honestly 100% believe that was a huge missed opportunity to not have Kevin Owens be the Miz's tag team partner for that match. It would have shocked everybody. It would have made sense because Jericho's in the match and that belt is on the line. And I think it would have gone over a lot better with than Wyatt getting in the match and everyone just kind of being like, well, this makes no sense whatsoever. Like, even if it was just to kind of give him a strong little push before his match with Orton, well, it doesn't make any friggin' sense, and he'll probably do something on SmackDown tomorrow anyways. So why pass up an opportunity to bring out KO for one night only on Raw and, you know, push that feud? I think it would have been a great way for Raw to go off the air.
Yeah. Somehow I sadly think that SmackDown is going to somehow find a way to build up Payback better than Raw did tonight, which is really sad because this has been a really sad common factor, which they've done where they've seemingly have had lackluster build-up on the final week before a major event. And that needs to stop. They need to start, if they want to, have lackluster shows before, like maybe 2-3 weeks before, that's fine. But you're building up to one of your network exclusives. You gotta start making people want to see it. You gotta make them want to care. They want to, they're paying $9.99. They might as well get their money's worth. Otherwise, they're gonna think, oh well, you know what? Let's go find something else. Let's go stream, New Japan or something like that. It just. Raw needs to stop with this whole lack of build-up. And these random matches that they decide to throw together doesn't help either. I mean, I love the matches between Enzo and Cass in the club, but now they're throwing that on the pre-show. For what, exactly? Because I beat you, so you beat me, and blah, blah, blah. And blah, blah. I mean, is there like a title deal going on? Or is it just these guys are just fighting each other for no reason whatsoever? Oh, there's a reason. I don't see it. I just don't see it. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, I think the whole, like after WrestleMania and the whole Superstar Shakeup thing, I don't think they were prepared for it. I don't think they knew, like, how their storylines were going to be affected and how the things they had already had set in motion just does not make any sense. You're taking people off of different shows that have title matches for the other show, and it's just kind of goofing everything up. This whole month after WrestleMania is really kind of been awkward, honestly, with how they've been doing things. And I think it's after Payback, maybe we'll get back on track then.
Well, we can only hope. So, Monday Night Raw, I actually did a poll earlier on. Thank you to all the 39 people that voted on here. 77% gave this Raw a thumbs down. 23% gave it a thumbs up. Your thoughts on Raw, AJ?
I mean, it was decent. I wouldn't say it was a thumbs down, but it wasn't like an amazing Raw either. But, I mean, I wasn't on my phone as much, so it had my attention at least.
Fair enough. Although I will say that I was on my my iPad a couple times, but that was only because certain matches were just like, yeah, I just don't care. I mean, potty break for Apollo Crews versus Hawkins, because we know how that's going to end up. But before we close off, there's a couple things I kind of want to talk about with some of the things that are going on in WWE as well as in wrestling. Some news that you probably love to hear. Mauro Ranallo is no longer with WWE. Officially now they've parted ways. And one of the main things that they've really touched base on is Mauro says that, JBL was not the reason why I left. And a lot of people are probably saying like, oh, that's bullshit because JBL's a bully and blah, 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 blah.
I think they greased him.
You think it's... I think they greased
them. I think they said we'll let you go with no questions, no problems, no penalties, no nothing. We'll let you go if you say it had nothing to do with JBL.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, I could also say that, maybe it did have to deal with the fact that, the scheduling for WWE is a lot different than, say, for boxing or for MMA. You have to be there more consistently. Even as like an announcer, as an interviewer, you're there so many days out of the year. It's just it has to be very stressful to think that, you only get like so many days off, but then the rest of the time you're just on the road, consistently. So maybe that had to do with it. Maybe, the tweets that he had about, dealing with a lot of stress and just, everything, emotional stuff like that. Maybe that was true. Maybe it still had to deal with the whole JBL deal. I know I've heard a lot of stories about JBL being a bully backstage, even back in the old days. But, I mean, there's not much that we can really do about it. There's people that can write petitions, fire JBL. But at the same time, these are the same people that have petitions, fire Braun Strowman, fire Roman Reigns, fire this person, fire Kevin Dunn. Yeah, that's only going to get so far. And it's not it just doesn't work that way anymore, you guys. I mean, if we're just making petitions